We'll now come to our fourth big boss lady, Claudia. Claudia, she is the CEO of Swiss Re's Southern and Western Europe business division. In this role, she's responsible to drive the business strategy that affects all the clients and all the offices in this region. Before that, she was a CEO of the Mediterranean, Iberia, and Italy. And before that, she had a leading finance role. She was the chief financial officer for Swiss Re EMEA. And this was a very large task because she was instrumental and key to change Swiss Re to a group holding structure. She was also in charge of optimizing the capital efficiencies and drove the introduction of new financial operating models. Claudia came there well trained because she previously served as head or as a senior consultant in various positions at KPMG and at other leading consultancies. She's an Italian citizen, graduated from beautiful Verona University, and also did not stop with a master's degree. So she also moved to the US and got the certified public accountant certification. She is also a fellow of the Aspen Institute. For those of you who haven't heard about Aspen Institute, this is a very large, valuable global think tank. And it is about connecting all the leaders from the world. So Claudia is a fellow there and is in touch with lots of global leaders there. But also, similar to all our big boss ladies, diversity is of high importance to Claudia. That's why she also co-chairs Swiss Re's diversity and inclusion practice. Claudia, it's an honor to having you here.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Similar to Sunnie, I have an issue with my voice, so this is not my normal voice, but I try my best to keep it up for the rest of the panel as well.
Sure. So, who was your famous who is your female role model?
Oh my gosh, I guess after hearing all this, I have 3 in front of me at least. I'm not sure I have a female role model, but I like to look at female leaders that I meet and try to get the best out of them. Or at least to look up at something that I can learn from them. One of my previous bosses, she was my boss at KPMG, and she determined and influenced a lot the way I think about leadership. So if I had to pick one, I think I would pick her.
Wow, this is really cool that women support women and you experience that in practice.
Of course.
What do you prefer? Pizza or pasta?
This is a very easy one. Pizza, of course.
One attribute that you value most in the employees that reports into you?
Again, I need to go back to Sunnie, curiosity. This is when I recruit someone, I tend to be driven by instinct. Of course, the CV is great, and it's fantastic to see people with all those titles. But what I'm looking for is really an attitude, because I don't think an attitude can be taught. And specifically the curiosity, the willingness to do more than someone is told to, that's for me the key to success. So, curiosity.
Cool. You're the CEO of Swiss Re for Southern and Western Europe. Before that, you were a CFO, super successful, did all the restructuring to a group holding. What drove you to change the role to the CFO, to the CEO?
Again, I think curiosity was part of it, and the willingness to have a broader impact. So when I was a CFO, I had a chance, and I really need to say Swiss Re is a cool company, for this type of things. You might think, well, our insurance company is really, old style. Yes, maybe some other insurance companies, Swiss Re is not. So I got really a chance from my previous boss and from other executives to look into the business side. I loved it because it gave me much more interaction to the external side. I could impact the business. I could have deals with clients. People in the business go to Monte Carlo, have all those fancy meetings, and I thought I would want to be part of that. So when I got the chance, I thought, well, it's the natural next step. I apply and I go for it. Luckily, I got the position, but then as soon as I got into the position, I thought it wasn't so natural anymore. It didn't feel like natural. It felt like a big stretch. Mm-hmm. And of course, you start thinking about who can give me advice, how can I live it? You talk to the predecessor, you talk to other people, and you realize that actually there's not one way of doing things. There's, I guess, Petra's way, there's Claudia's way, and there's any other person's way, right? So I thought, okay, let's just do it the way I think is right. And I think today it went fairly well. So.
Awesome. Yes, congratulations. Big step and great that you did it. This is probably also very inspiring for the audience. Just do it. Just have the courage and step up.
Definitely.
When we spoke before, you mentioned that oftentimes you go to a meeting room, you go into a conference room, and it's the opposite, like flipped. It's almost all male.
Yeah.
How long does it take in the meeting that they discovered, oh, she is the big boss, and I should actually turn to her? Does it happen?
It depends how smart they are. So there's I must say, sometimes it takes long, and you cannot imagine. I've been greeted like the secretary of my direct reports many times. I've been greeted as their wives and asked, what is my husband doing at that particular event or dinner or conference? And I'm like, actually, I'm the one here, and he's my kind of bessere Hälfte. But okay, so it takes sometimes a bit of time, and sometimes even a formal introduction. Then you really see how even the body language changes and switches, and then they start looking at me. Before they were just looking at the male guy who's sitting next to me. So that attitude changes. What I would say on that, sometimes I'm annoyed. More frequently, I'm not, because being in the business, believe it or not, there is some kind of alpha male competition when you're meeting clients, if you're a male. And that's not, I think it's not conscious, but it's still there. So they want to outsmart each other. Sorry, Remo, that I'm saying that. But you don't have the situation if you're a woman, so you can use it fairly smartly if you want, and then use it to strike back and surprise them. I had a few times that situation where I was a bit the underdog. So you go into the meeting and you see the face of the client. In particular, once when I went to my home country, Italy, with two natural catastrophe experts, both of them female, plus myself. And you should have seen the face of the client looking at us and like, oh, they send us the assistants. But then you start talking to them and they are super surprised that actually they have very competent people in front of them. And that can be, for a negotiation, quite a useful tactic, because you're in the underdog position. They underestimate you maybe, and then you can strike back and win. So I think it's quite a useful tactic.
It seems you have lots of fun.
Yeah. I do,
cool.
Yes.
Is there other situations, things that you regret that you didn't do, that you wish with hindsight that you would have done?
Maybe we come to that point also in the panel, but honestly, Petra, I think I should have recognized the value of networking a bit earlier than I've done. And that's in the sense of positive networking, doing a great job, overachieving, but also making sure that people know you, because without people knowing you, it's difficult to have a career. If you're ambitious and you want to go up the ladder, at some point it's also about just knowing that you're around, knowing that you're performing very well. And having a network helps you, it broadens your horizons, but it's also useful to get to know people. So I think I started a bit late on that. I was just convinced that overperformance would do the trick. It does bring you to a certain level, but not beyond that level. So,
And nevertheless, you made it to CEO. Congratulations. So thank you very much. You can just stay on the stage, and I would ask all the Big Boss ladies to join us here.